Welcome to today's video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to become the brand and how to become a personal branding icon. I'm going to show you everything that I've learned over the last 10 years on what works, what hasn't worked, and what is working right now in 2025 and beyond. So number one, you can start building a personal brand because I believe that personal branding and building an audience is the number one asset that you can have in today's business world. And if you are someone who wants to become an entrepreneur or already is an entrepreneur right now, building a personal brand and actually knowing how to be able to do it is what's going to 100x your business, because people don't buy from brands, they buy from people. And I'm going to show you exactly how you should be personal branding and exactly how you should be doing it so you can be able to take this, run with it, and to be able to scale your businesses and have a successful personal brand. So let's dive into it. Number one, what you got to understand about personal branding is that you are the brand. Okay. You are the image, you are the product, and you are the business. Okay. You, the literally your personal brand is you. Okay. That's what makes it successful. At the end of the day, we live in a time that people don't buy from just brands anymore. They buy from people. Okay. And the number one thing about any good product or good service, people have to like, know, and trust you to be able to buy from you. So the number one thing, what makes personal branding so powerful is that your product or that your service that you're selling has actual real tangibility behind it, and people know who that person is. And that makes trust, authenticity, and transparency so high, is because people will never buy from you unless they like, know, and trust you. That is the number one thing that's going to change this. And that's why personal branding is becoming so huge, is because the biggest brands in the world, like The Rock, Kevin Hart, um, the Kardashians, all that kind of stuff, they have personal brands and they are absolutely crushing it. So how can we do that exact same thing with our businesses, with our services, with our products? And that is through personal branding. Okay. A strong personal brand is the number one asset that you can have as an entrepreneur or someone trying to become an entrepreneur. I literally believe that in the next 10 years, personal branding will be the number one sought after thing. It already is, but it's going to be the number one thing that's going to separate you from the marketplace, from everyone else trying to start businesses and already people established successfully. See, I've been in this game for 10 years and I've been building my brand on social media for the last 10 years. And it just provides that security and that stability, because if people don't know who you are, how are they going to find out what you do? Right. So if you actually have real knowledge, value, and things on the internet, people are going to trust you and people are going to want to end up working with you over someone else. Right. And that's why it is so important to not only have a digital resume online that people can look, listen, learn from, and get inspired by, but also that they can come to your product, service, or business or your coaching program to be able to get to where they want to be through you. Okay. Now, a personal brand, let's get this clear. A personal brand is not a specific niche, industry, or business. Okay. A personal brand is you and what makes you unique. You are the niche. See, at the end of the day, you're going to want to have obviously a solution that you're solving a problem for the marketplace and what your business is in. That's niche related content for your business. Okay. You have to be specific in that. Okay. Because you have to get people to come to you that want that solution for that. Okay. That is marketing. Personal branding is showing people who you are as a person, your values, your beliefs, your experiences, your lessons, your failures. It's all separate from the niche related things that you're providing to be able to attract those people in the top of the funnel, which is marketing, getting new eyeballs and new specific customers to your page for your business, right? You're always going to need to have a niche based content value that you're providing to the customer to be able to attract those people to you. Personal branding is the relationship that builds trust with those people that came into your audience that don't know who you are yet, right? So you need to provide value in that person's problem. So if it's fitness, I'm going to show you how to, work out, nutrition, how to eat, how to do cardio, all that kind of stuff, right? That's niche related content. But again, you're showing people that top of the funnel stuff to get them attracted to you, but what is going to get them to buy from you? And that is the relationship that they're building with the person who is the personal brand, the CEO. Because people don't buy a product from a person who's doing someone else. People buy coaches and not coaching, right? So you need to know the difference between building and personal brand and building relationship and what is actual marketing, right? For your actual business. Because if you could put these two hybrid things together, that is what's going to bring people to you, the right customers, and then build a personal brand, what makes you unique by who you are, your experience, your story, your value, your beliefs, to be able to get people to the bottom of the funnel, to be able to trust you enough to be able to buy from you. Okay. Here's what I mean. Okay. I am Christian Fleenor. I am a brand. I am not my business, and I'm not what I sell. Okay. My businesses are under my personal brand. Okay. If you do it the opposite, everyone's going to know what you do, but then they're not going to know who you are as a person. So they're going to know, hey, you can help me lose weight. Hey, you can help me build my personal brand. Hey, you can help me build my business. Or, hey, you can help me fix my, help me build muscle or do all that kind of stuff, right? But they're not going to know who you are as a person, right? So you're going to have this solution that you can provide people, but people are not going to buy from you because they don't know who you are. Like, it's like if God was like, hey, you have to follow these principles and you have to follow the Bible, but Jesus never came and no one knew who Jesus was, but God was just telling you what to do, right? There would be no personality to that. There would be no experiences. There would be no principles. There would be no lessons. No one would be able to touch him, see him, look at him, experience with him, all that kind of stuff. And that's what makes it personal, right? It's not the business, it's the person that can provide you that solution to your problem, but you relate to their story, their authenticity, and you're learning wisdom from them, okay? Now, instead of building a business around your product, build your audience devoted to you instead of just your business so you can become an icon, okay? People get connected to you as a person because they like, know, and trust you as a person. So they will buy any product, any course, any service, no matter the niche that you're in, because they trust you because you built an actual personal brand, not just a niche related page in fitness, talking only about fitness and nutrition and fitness and nutrition and fitness and nutrition, right? No one relates to that. Okay. That's like the surface level value. What is the intrinsic value of all your lessons, your experiences, your hero's journey, your wisdom, your knowledge, and all these things that make you as a person to get people to trust you and know you and actually give them real coaching, real experience, real lessons, get at their level and actually provide them real value that has changed your life and show them exactly what you do to be able to get to where you are. Okay. That's what's going to build trust. Okay. The goal of building a personal brand and the goal in life in general, and my motto that I live by, is the goal is to present our journey in life to the world and become the 10x version, the vision of the man that you want to be, and document that journey on social media. Okay. This is where the brand is built. It's showing the beginning of your journey and becoming the hero of your story and showing everyone how you did it by showing how you live your life, how you show your daily routine, who you're becoming from where you are, telling your story. And that's what a hero's journey is. It's literally showing, dude, I've seen you from this and I've seen what you've been and what you've become. And that's why I want to work with you. See, I literally had a guy on a call. We got on a 45-minute call and he literally was like, dude, there's so many different coaches. There's so many different people in the space. And there's so many people out there that I feel like they're just surface level and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen you go from where you started and where you are now. And I relate to you is because you're not surface level. You're authentic, you're transparent, and you actually show what you've been able to overcome and you show people how to do it. And that's why I want to be able to work with you, right? That is the message and that is the mission. And that's what you're trying to get people to feel, because your business is not a feeling. A brand is a feeling, right? The number one asset that you can do to build a personal brand is self-development. And that is becoming the best version of yourself. Okay. Because everyone wants to make more money, become a millionaire, get in shape, have a business, do all these things. Everyone wants what's outside of them, but that's not, you can't get anywhere if you don't become the asset. You have to self-develop yourself and turn yourself into a weapon of mass destruction that literally gives value and is an asset that people can learn from, get inspired by, and you have the tangible result, right? So you can teach other people how to do it. You cannot teach anything unless you give value and teach someone and show someone how to do it. How can you show someone and get in shape if you're not even in shape or you're not jacked? How can you show someone to build a personal brand if you've never built a personal brand? How can you show someone how to have a successful business if you don't have a successful business? You can't. So you are in the self-development part of your journey. You have to gain those skill sets. You have to gain that wisdom. You have to gain that knowledge, and you have to gain the wisdom. See, it's self-awareness, and then knowledge is the accumulation of information, and then wisdom is the actual action and application of that to inspire people to be able to seek wisdom from you. Okay. If you don't know what your problems are and you're not self-aware, you're never going to accumulate the knowledge and develop yourself on how to fix those problems. And then you're never going to fix those problems on how to give that wisdom to the marketplace so you can change other people's lives because you don't have that result yet. So the number one thing, if you want to build a personal brand, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, I mean, for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever, or just in general in the next year, and why 70% of businesses fail is because you're just not developing yourself as an asset. You're not self-developing mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, in every single way. And the reason why a business fails is because you don't have enough knowledge and you're not seeking enough wisdom to be able to solve your problems in business or solve your problems that you have mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. So if you solve that, you're going to be able to be pretty okay because you're seeking wisdom on how to fix it. Okay. So my goal is to become savage, shredded, and successful. Okay. So you literally have one mission. Okay. become the best version of yourself and give it to the world and show people how you did it. That's literally what becoming savage, shredded, and successful is. Like, I want to become savage and mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually. I want to be shredded and be in the most insane shape possible. And I want to be successful financially, physically, and have the things that I want, inspire people, provide value, and solve problems. And that's what I mean. It's you have to literally have one mission. Become the best version of yourself, give that value to the world, and show people how to do it in an offer that makes the world a better place by you fixing your problems and fixing other people's problems so you can give it back and help people with the experiences, the lessons, the failures, the wins that you've done. That's all you have to do. It's a 3-step journey, right? Become the best version of yourself, get the results, and show people how you did it. That's how you're going to have a successful personal brand. And if you want to teach business, if you want to teach fitness, if you want to teach branding, you have to literally go through that. And that's why I've been able to do so many different things, is because once I learn the result, fix the problem, and get the knowledge, I show up other people how to do it. Okay. Now, to be able to do this, you have to know yourself. Okay. So you have to go through a process, a development process of creating your 10.0 self. Because right now, the reason why you don't have a personal brand, or you're not in shape, or you don't have any result that you want right now, is just because you don't know yourself. You don't know what your 10.0 self looks like. You have to go through a process of becoming and doing and having to be able to get the result. It's biblical. So be, do, have, right? So if we don't know who we need to become, we haven't asked the right questions to ourselves. So then we don't know what to actually do to take action on. And then if we don't do the right things and take the right actions, then we don't get the results, and we can't have anything, whether that's wealth, health, relationships, prosperity, a personal brand, social media, a successful business, whatever. It's the same process in every single thing. Okay. So the number one thing is we have to become. Like, a millionaire is someone who became a millionaire and did the right habits to be able to become that version of themselves, right? So the biggest things that we need to do is we need to create our 10-point version of ourselves. So we need to get a pen and a piece of paper. We need to think, and then we need to write these things down. Okay. So what are your long-term goals in life? Like, where do you see yourself in the next year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? Like, ask yourself, like, what do I want with my life? If I could do anything that I want, like, what is that? What is that for you? Okay. You got to know yourself. Like, okay, this is my short-term goal. This is my long-term goal. This is where I want to be in the next year. This is where I want to be in the next 5 years. Like, I feel like this is where I want to be in the next 10 years, right? You don't have to know that, because like your first year is going to determine your 5 years. And then that's going to change to your 5-year goals. And then it's going to get to your 10 years goals. So like, it may change a little bit, but you just need to get something down and written down so you know a little bit. Okay. Now, what is your origin story? Like, you need to know what is your overall story until getting to this point right now, right? Like, you need to be able to know what is your story of where did you start? What have you gone through? What are the things that have gotten you here, and where are you at right now? Because you're in the part of your story right now that a big shift is going to happen, and then you're going to make that shift, and then it's going to open up the other side, and then you're going to become successful, and then you're going to be able to have a whole hero's journey to show people. So you need to know your story from this point, right? What is your biggest failure? Okay. Your biggest failure and mistakes are going to be able to allow you to be able to tell it, to relate to other people on, where they're at and where they want to be and all that kind of stuff. So like, you need to understand, like, your biggest failures are the things that are going to set you up to be able to learn how to talk about them, right? So like, if how can I relate this to you? Like, if you were like, oh, the biggest failure was like staying in college too long and going to college and then wasting 100K and then being able to be like, I never even want to do that, so I don't use that. And then I got into business and personal development and I started a coaching program and I became a millionaire, right? That could be like your biggest mistake. Like my biggest mistake was like, okay, I got into partying and drugs and I didn't know myself, and then I got down in a wrong relationship, and then I got depressed and suicidal, and then I basically lost everything, almost went to jail for DUI, and then I basically got straight, quit all that kind of stuff, got into self-development. That led me into fitness, and I started working on myself, and then I got into fitness coaching because I started developing in myself, and then that led me to this path, right? You need to be able to know those things so you can talk about them in your story. Okay. And then what does your 10.0 self version of yourself look like? Like, what is the best version of yourself look like mentally, physically, financially, spiritually? Like, what car are you driving? What do you want? What type of business and life do you want to live? What kind of things do you want to have? And like, what does that version of yourself, like, from, like, you got to vision yourself, like, think about like how you look, what your haircut is, like what you're wearing, what type of clothes you're wearing, what type of car you're driving, where are you living, what are you doing, as a job and career, what impact are you making in the world? That is how you're going to be able to create your 10.0 version of yourself. And then what habits are they doing every single day to be able to become that version of yourself? Okay. And then what are your strengths? And then what are your weaknesses, right? You need to understand yourself, because we do need to focus on our weaknesses and let go of those things, but we also need to develop our strengths even more, because those are the skill sets that's going to make us have leaps and bounds. So we need to really understand our strengths, our skill sets, and the things that we can put more energy into. And then our weaknesses, we will be able to give those things up and then also develop them more over time as well. And then what do you feel like you can give to the world? Like, if you were able to give the most impact to the world, like, what value do you feel like you can give to the world? Like, do you feel like you can help people get in shape? Do you feel like you can help people build their business? Do you feel like you can help people bring them closer to God? Like, what is that for you? And then understand like what you enjoy most. Like, if you literally could do something every single day, like working out is like something that I've done every single day for the last 12 years. Like, that's why I made it into a career and a business and everything like that. Cause like I was already going to do it. So why not make money off of it and help other people do it as well? Like, figure out what you enjoy. What do you hate doing the most? Like, if you didn't have to do it for money right now, like, what would you be happy with not doing ever again? You need to understand that as much as possible. And if money didn't matter, what would you do every single day of your life if you didn't get paid for it? Right? Like, this is one of those things, like educating, teaching, and all that kind of stuff, like giving value. Like, you got to find the things that give you energy and give you joy and give you fulfillment. Okay. And then this is really important. Like, what do you need to give up to be able to elevate? Because if you don't cut off the anchor and you don't burn the boats and you don't cut off the chains, you're never going to be able to elevate, right? So we have to go through a removal process of our beliefs, our habits, our addictions to be able to elevate. And what are those for you? And then what do you think you need to do right now to live the life that you want? So if you literally, the new habits, the new thoughts, the new feelings, the new things that you need to do every single day, what do you feel like your 10.0 self is telling you you need to be able to do right now to be able to get the life that you want? Okay. Now, next, once you understand who you are, you need to go through creating your brand identity. Okay. Your brand, what is your brand identity? Okay. It is the outward projection and people's perceptions of what your brand stands for. Okay. So brands are feelings. You have to decide what you want people to feel about you. So Literally, do you want to be the successful guy? Do you want to be the business guy? Do you want to be the fitness guy? Do you want to be all those things together? Like, you have to understand like how you want people to perceive you, because like people will perceive you in a certain way whether you like it or not, and on that's all controllable on what you've put out there, right? At the end of the day, like if you're creating a brand, like you need to have people perceive you a certain way for authority, right? At the end of the day, like your brand, your message, your coaching and everything like that, you want to make someone feel a certain way. So like when someone comes to my page, I want them to be inspired, motivated, and I want them to have the embodiment of what it looks like to be savage, shredded, and successful, becoming a high status man, becoming the best version of yourself mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, making the most amount of money, making the most amount of impact, becoming the best version of yourself, getting in shape, all those things, to be able to be like, dude, I need to become the best version of myself. That's what I want to be. I want to make more money. Mindset, money, muscle, mission, millions, right? Like, what is that for you? You need to understand that, because that's what you're going to be able to like create your brand around. Okay. And then write out these answers to these questions. Like, how do you want to be perceived by the world? Okay. Who do you want to become as a man? Like the most successful version of yourself. What do you want to give to the world? And what is the key purpose, the transformation, and the mission of the purpose of your brand? Okay. Answer those questions, write them down, and then you can move to the next part. Okay. So we're going to go over like what are creating branding pillars. Okay. Branding pillars are basically your core values of what your brand is based on. Okay. So I have some examples up here, and this is, similar to mine. Branding core values are fitness, family, faith, finances, and freedom. Those are like core values of mine. Those are the things that I believe in and everything like that. And then like, those are the most important things about me. So I'm going to talk about that right now. I'm going to break those down into branding pillars. So branding pillars are like sub branding topics that I'm going to talk about, right? I'm going to talk about mindset. I'm going to talk about what I do and how to create money for yourself. I'm going to talk about building muscle and getting in the best shape as possible, and how I look and how it makes me feel better. I'm going to talk about how I'm going to help millions of people and make millions of dollars and show people that and everything like that as I level up, as my lifestyle levels up and all that kind of stuff. That's important to me as my branding and my perception, right? And to inspire people, right? And show people what truly is possible to becoming the best version of yourself. And I'm going to tell people my mission of making men better financially, physically, spiritually, and mentally, right? Becoming the best version of yourself, right? That's my mission, like in every way possible. That's what I do with my life. That's what I'm going to put out there. And those are the topics that I'm going to talk about, right? Now, after you do that, we're going to get into creating your content pillars, right? After you know your branding pillars and your core values, now you can break those down into macro content pillars. So macro content pillars are like fitness, personal development, business, nutrition, lifestyle, mindset, and habits. Like, those are the macro content that I'm going to talk about. Like, I'm going to talk about those subcategories and everything. And now I can come up with different subjects, different personal branding, different stories, different value points in those macro content pillars, right? And then once I have those macro content pillars, I'm going to take it a little bit smaller and I'm going to go micro content pillars. So if I chose nutrition right now, how I track macros as an entrepreneur, right? This one is, what I do, what workouts do I do to add muscle as a busy entrepreneur, right? How I built my personal brand off success principles, business, right? The day in the life of $1 million high school dropout, right? Right? That's lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. And then mindset and habits, personal development, all that kind of stuff. Making men strong, successful, and savage again, right? A little political, but also like my beliefs of like my personal branding and everything like that. So once you figure out that, you're going to make those macro pillars. Like, what are the things that you're going to talk about? Are you talking about fitness? Are you going to talk about personal development? Are you going to talk about biohacking? Are you going to show people your lifestyle? Like, what are these things that you're going to be able to talk about? And then break those down into micro content pillars once you have that, more targeted to your ideal client and everything like that, right? And then we're going to be like, we have a content workshop on how to make specific niche related content based on your ideal client, your avatar, and all that kind of stuff. But this is specific personal branding. You need to understand personal branding and how to do it because it's separate from marketing, right? Okay. Once you literally do all this, you've literally have the entire blueprint of building and taking action to be able to build a personal brand. Okay. This is everything that you need on the branding side to be able to start branding yourself, building a personal brand, and what it's going to take to be able to do that. I hope you enjoyed this video and make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.